Day 70, TSC Heart of a Champion, 70-day challenge. This is my final day. So, I'm going to weigh myself, I'm going to measure my waist, and I'm just going to talk about where I'm at today. So, I was 260 pounds when I started this journey. Today, I'm a little bit under 220 pounds. I'm going to call it 219. So 41 pounds lost in 70 days. Last week, I was 223 pounds. So I lost 4 pounds this week. Give me a second. I'm going to measure my waist. I know it's more than a second. If you can just be patient, I promise we'll get there. Okay, so let's see where we're at. Right around the belly button. Did you see that? That is a little over 40 inches. It's close enough that I'm going to call that 40 inches. Started with a 46-inch waist. So 6 inches off my waist, 41 pounds in 70 days. I have more news than that. I had my annual physical yesterday. So for the past few years, every time I go to get my physical, the doctor tells me that I'm pre-diabetic, that I have high blood pressure. High blood pressure runs in my family. That my cholesterol is high, that I am obese, and this year when I went, they start off by taking my blood pressure before they even see me, and every time I go to the doctor and they take my blood pressure, every time for at least the past year, they take my blood pressure, it's high, and they say, okay, so relax, and we're going to take your blood pressure again and see if we can get it down below. And so I have to breathe and relax, and then, they take it again, and it's just low enough that they can see me. This time, they took my blood pressure. Blood pressure was fine. I looked at the screen. It was 135 over whatever else. So it's still slightly high, but high blood pressure runs in my family. The good news is it went down. So after 70 days of exercise and dieting, my blood pressure went down. My cholesterol was 210 last year, a year ago. This year it was 188. My blood sugar was pre-diabetic. It was 5.7%. This time it was 5.2%. I'm no longer pre-diabetic. I am no longer in the obese category. I'm still overweight, but it's not a concern. And I'm no longer technically obese. So thumbs up to that. I feel great. I have a ton of energy. I'm super pleased with my results. It is awesome. So I just want to talk a little bit about my journey. So anyone can do what I've done. There's no reason why you can't do it. What was necessary for me was that I wanted to make this change. And my doctor asked me, why did you make this change? And I said, because every year I come in and you tell me that I'm pre-diabetic, I have high cholesterol, I have high blood pressure, I'm at risk of diabetes, heart attack, stroke, cancer, like just all of these things. I'm at a higher risk because of my body weight. So I decided it was time to make a change. And honestly, the thing that really motivated me to change is I've known for a long time that I need to make this change, and I've sort of dreaded it. But both of my girls, who are 5 and 7 years old, started going to school all day this year. And prior to that, for the last 7 years, I've spent such a large portion of my day hanging out with my girls And when they went to school, all of a sudden I had all this free time that I didn't have anything to do with. And I just decided I've got all this free time, I'm going to use it to my benefit, the benefit of my health. And the funny thing about what happened, as soon as I started dieting and exercising, it was really hard in the beginning. But once I got into the routine, I realized it was totally unnecessary for me to wait that amount of time. I did not need to wait until my girls went to school. I could have done this anytime. And time was just kind of an excuse that I gave myself. In all honesty, as hard as it was in the beginning, it's easy now. It got easy along the way, and it's easy now. And people will ask me, so what are you going to do now? What are you going to do now that it's over? I am going to move from the ketogenic diet to a whole foods, heavy on plants. I love proteins, so meat, fish, poultry, steak. And I'm going to look out for sugar. Sugar is now what I stay away from. It used to be fat. Fat used to be the evil ingredient that I had to stay away from. I'm no longer afraid of fat. And all of those results that I had at my annual physical, keep in mind, I achieved those results by eating a lot of fat. About 70% of my calories that I was taking in every day were fat. And I'm talking about butter. I'm talking about chicken skin. I'm talking about eggs. I ate more eggs than anything else on this diet, and I'm talking about whole eggs with the yolk. And steak, fatty steak, ribeye, hamburger meat. I just didn't eat the bun. I didn't eat the bread, the pasta, the rice, the potatoes, the corn. I stayed away from those things. And my cholesterol went down. So we were all raised to believe that those are the things that give you high cholesterol. Those are the things that are going to kill you. And as it turns out, we may have been wrong about that, because my numbers have gone down. And I ate a lot of that stuff. I mean, those were the staples of my diet. So moving forward, just a more balanced diet. I'm not going to be in ketosis. I have probably 10 more pounds that I'd like to lose. I'd like to be about 210 pounds. For the next few weeks, I'm not going to think about anything. But the way I think about food has changed as a result of this diet. So when I sit down and I look at a plate of food, or I look at a menu or anything like that, I expect that I'm going to make choices based on the way my brain thinks about food now. So I'm not going to revert back to my old ways, but I'm also not going to be super strict and not enjoy my life. I plan to enjoy my meals and just think about food differently. So for about 3 weeks, I'm just going to relax. And then after 3 weeks, I'm going to put into action a new plan to lose that last 10 pounds. And it's not going to be a hardcore plan. I can do it slowly, but basically I'm just going to continue exercising and continue to think about food in the way that I think about food now. So I want to give a shout out to Marco Isiano for introducing me to Chris Kruger. I knew I wanted to make a change, which is probably the biggest factor for anyone actually making a change, is wanting to make a change. I didn't have a roadmap. Marco introduced me to Chris Kruger online. I've never actually met Chris in person. I've only experienced his persona online, and I've exchanged emails with him. And we've talked about one another in videos that we've both watched, but I've never met Chris. But he's the reason. He gave me the map, the outline that I used to execute this 70-day program. And I can't thank him enough. For anyone who is thinking about doing this, I'm just going to tell you, you can do it. You can do it. You have enough time. You're going to have more energy. I know you don't have enough energy now, but you will have enough energy if you can make it through. I would say the first 3 weeks is really the biggest challenge. You're going to get there. You're going to get there, and you're going to be so happy. So if you want to make the change and you don't know how, you can go to effortless8.com. That's Chris Kruger's website. You can also find Chris Kruger on YouTube. He streams every day live. And you can contact me. I will help you. I'm happy to help you. I'm so excited about the changes I've made. I would love to help anyone who wants to make the change. I think the only thing that matters is you want to make it. You want to make it, I'll help you make it happen. And man, that's it. So the important thing now is that I keep the weight off. I don't want to yo-yo back up. So I will continue to check in and just make sure that I'm maintaining this, because if I don't maintain it, it was all worthless. So 70 days, 41 pounds, 5.5 inches off my waist. No longer pre-diabetic, no longer obese, lowered my cholesterol. I am so happy. I'm so happy. It feels awesome to make day 70. I will see you all the next time.